Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to break down the release trailer for Apex Legends Season 6 Boosted. On the left you'll see map locations for wherever we are in the video, and down in the description we'll be posting links for whatever I'm talking about to give you a bit more information. I'm not going to mess you about, so let's get straight into it.
Grab your mash. Rampart's in down.
It's not about how hard you fall. It's not even about getting back up. Legend's just a name. Legacy comes from the mark you leave.
Here we see Rampart using Sheila up on Lava City, and Doc's revive shield is actually stopping the fire from coming through, so we know it can't do that. And next we see Rampart using Sheila again, but Sheila's also on her back, so I'm guessing that's just an oversight. And we're also getting a sneaky peek at one of Rami's finisher moves, I reckon, here.
Yeah. My life was never the same. My family.
Setting shield, you'll be alright.
To blame.
I came to party.
This the fight of my life. This the time of my life.
You're in my house now.
Here we get our first look at what I think is going to be the Season Pass skin. It's for the Scout and it is one of Rampart's own designs. And also see Lifeline in a skin which I'm pretty sure we don't have yet, or at least a recolor. Now the Scout is one of my favourite weapons. Well, it used to be until it got a hip and zip nerf and it's lost its accuracy. I mean, I'm not so bothered about it losing the damage, but I love to be able to hip fire the Scout because the iron sights are terrible, and as you can see here they're no better on this final skin, which is a bit of a shame, a bit of a letdown. Now what we're also seeing for the first time in this screenshot is a new complex in the background, which is where the building site markers were at Drill Site, so this actually looks quite significant. Hopefully there's going to be a bit of verticality added to that area, but we don't really see much more of what's over there, so really we don't know yet. Once we go through the longest Wraith portal ever, we end up in the South of Sorting office, where the other new construction site is, and we're getting our first glimpse at what I'm guessing they're going to call launch site or something similar, which is where you're going to see the big rocket at the end of the video. We don't really get to see much else here, but we do get a peek at a Bangalore skin, and it looks like Bangalore once again is losing the lottery on outfits with just what looks like a basic reskin or recolor of one of her existing models. Fingers crossed she gets something a little bit better in the actual season pass.
The hunt begins.
Here we have Mirage walking past what I think is the new drill site, showing off a new skin for himself and also a selection of other skins. This looks like the Sentinel and I'm really liking this skin. Then we've got what looks like a colour variant, so this will either be the level 100 or the level 110 skin for the Scout, the other one being white. I don't know which is better. I think the white one's probably the better one. This is probably the level 100 one. Spitfire skin, and I'm not really sure from the markings if there's anything else we can work out from this. And finally a Devo skin. Then we cut scene to Octane with a fancy new green and black skin, and the scene after that we get Pathfinder with a very interesting skin which looks like it matches that Sentinel from before, and he's taking out Caustic in a pre-existing skin. It was one of the recent Legend token recolors that you could buy. And I'll quickly skip the Bloodhound skin and look at this Scout skin again because it's got the final animation for when you kill people and it's looking really nice there. And when we land we get this much better look at Bloodhound's new skin, which is a total change of character. I'm loving this one.
I'm ready to rumble. I look in the mirror. I see my opponent up on the ropes. Uppercut taking blow close and shutouts is swollen. They struggle to open. Conscious is spoken. I know that I'm chosen. The fight is not over.
Join me in the shadows.
Now we get to look at World's Edge Fortified, and they're starting off here in Drill Site. Some interesting stuff on here. There's an activation switch, currently red in the middle, slightly to the right in the middle of the screen. That obviously does something when you press it. Looking down in the middle, is that a pit? Is that like a vault entrance like we've seen on the other map? Maybe, I don't know. There might also be some moving platforms like we're going to see in a second. But before that, they're taking us somewhere which this took me a while to work out what we were looking at. I thought that we were near the harvester because that apex sign and that corridor looks very much like that area. But actually, looking down at the very bottom middle, we're at tree, and this is almost in the tree. So this is a whole new area at the very bottom of the map. It is the bottom, isn't it? Have I got my head the right way? Yeah, the bottom of the map. So we're getting a new corridor through to the dome area where all the lava bubbles are. Next we come to an area between Harvester and where Mirage Voyage, I don't know if it still is there, it might still be there, but there's loads going on here, and this really is showing the scale of the changes on this side of the map. I really wasn't expecting something this big. There's cranes and carriages and all sorts here, and we've also got this moving barrier, and as we go round to the other side of it, it is actually moving with characters on it, so this isn't just a demonstration animation. This is something that must take place in game, maybe by pressing one of those switches like we saw over at Drill Site. Then when we go around to see a view of Revenant putting down his death totem, if you look in the background, there's all sorts going on here with the cranes, and it looks like this is quite a vertical area with areas that go underneath and areas that go over the top. This is going to be a really interesting area.
Materials here.
Very well. Remarkable.
Okay, now it's time to look at the crafting system. Now, this here isn't the crafting station. This, I think, must be where we get our crafting materials from. And when we go and look at it closer, it's got the Danny Boy written on it. Maybe this is something that drops down from the sky and extracts something from the earth, or perhaps it just already contains these materials. And then we get a scene shift, and we're no longer near Giza. We're actually over now where I call the Caravan of Courage on the north of the map, and we've got the real crafting station in front of us. And as you approach it and have a tap on the keyboard, it brings up this screen. And this is a very interesting screen because the things you can craft actually come in categories. We've got permanent, weekly, daily, and weapon fit. Now, does this daily mean that you can only craft one a day, or does it mean that the thing you can craft changes on a daily basis? I think it's probably the latter. I think you can probably, I think the contents probably stays the same each day, and those daily items change each day, and the same with the weekly. Now this is interesting because we've crafted a Devo, and the Devo is, well, was until now a care package drop. So this means the Devo has been removed from care packages because there it is with ammo next to it. Does this mean that the L-Star is getting a rework and is going back into the care packages? Have they finally fixed the L-Star? Or is the Vault going to be a care package drop? I don't think it will. I think the Vault will be a standard drop. So we're going to have an LMG, an AR and an SMG as ground weapons, and then I think I'm going to put hedge my bets that the L-Star is going back into care packages with a major rework.
Yeah, I got you, old man.
Damn it, I'm in trouble.
And now we get to look at the new weapon, the Vault, which if you play Titanfall 2 won't be such a new weapon to you, but this is an energy type SMG, and it has a slower rate of fire than current SMGs. Excellent weapon in Titanfall 2, and I hope it's just as good in this game. As you can see here, it's got really good iron sights, so this is going to be an awesome starter weapon if you drop on this. Something else in this scene though, I don't recognise this area at all. In fact, I've put a different colour ring on the map here because this is where I think it must be. It's got high walls but also no top on it because it's got a jump balloon, so the only place I can think this is nestled in those mountains where there's going to be a new corridor.
It's party time.
Now we get to look at the new legend for Season 6, Rampart, or Rami as I'm going to be calling her. She has a deployable shield, and also for her ultimate she has Sheila, her deployable LMG. Now, as you can see in this next scene, there's actually 3 shields down, which means either they have an incredibly short cooldown or she can take stock of 3 of them, very similar to how Caustic keeps 3 Caustic traps. Also, you can see that other people can use Sheila, because here's Gibraltar firing away. Taking a look at where they're firing, we get to see more of this launch site area where the construction site is near Dome. There's all sorts going on here, but these buildings don't look like they have multi-stories. It looks like it's all ground floor stuff. There's several containers outside, but I don't think this is going to be a high loot area. Maybe it'll be good for duos. Now in this scene we get confirmation that Rami's shields are destructible. They must have a finite amount of protection before they go down, because here Paul Watson is getting taken out by the Kraber. And in this next scene you can see Octane with that Kraber with a pretty rubbish skin on it, but we do get a closer look at that green skin from earlier, which is looking pretty good. And finally, to finish this bit off, we get to see a glimpse of Rami's other finishing move, where she obviously gives him a good whack with Sheila.
Something big is on the horizon. And remember, I'll be watching.
We will be leaving World's Edge. But how soon? Will it be next season? Will it be halfway through this season? I hope it's sooner rather than later, but these map changes are looking promising. I didn't think they were going to be enough, but this video may have actually changed my mind. Stay positive and have luck and good fun.